Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Looks like everybody's with us and the waiting room has been cleared. Good afternoon. This is an administrative hearing before the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing. Today's Thursday, November 6th, 2025. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. We are joined today by the Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing, Kathleen Joyce, and Director of Operations, Rebecca Fu. There's only one item on this afternoon's agenda. I will read the item into the record. I'll ask who is present on behalf of the licensee and who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department, whether there are any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident. After which I will swear in all parties. The police report will be then read into the record, and the licensee or the representative will have the opportunity to make a brief statement, followed by questions by the Executive Director and Director of Operations. All testimony will be limited only to those individuals with firsthand personal knowledge of the alleged incident. The only item on this afternoon's agenda concerns 383 Lot LLC doing business as Park City, located at 383 Dorchester Ave in South Boston. Date of the incident, September 5th, 2025. Loud amplified music emanating into neighborhood at 57 to 58 decibels, a quarter mile away, in violation of the Boston Noise Ordinance. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Good afternoon, Secretary Green, Executive Director Joyce, Director of Operations. Tom Miller from McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley here on behalf of the licensee. I'm joined by Michael Shaw, the manager of record and part of the ownership team, and Michael O'Brien, the general manager.
Thank you. And who's present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
I am Detective Hernandez.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify?
Sergeant Detective Gallagher, if needed.
Thank you very much. Can all those who plan to testify please raise your right hand? Mr. Shaw or Mr. O'Brien, if you're planning to testify, please raise your hand. Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Detective Hernandez, if you could please read the report into the record for the Entertainment Division.
Good afternoon. I'm going to read from a report which I wrote on Friday, September 5th, 2025. Sergeant Detective William Gallagher and Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to the BPD License Premise Unit, conducted a license premise inspection of Park City. The detectives were there regarding a noise complaint that had been made to the city's complaint line. As detectives approached the establishment, they could easily hear loud amplified music emanating from inside the premise going out onto the street and the abutting neighborhood. Detectives first went to the complainant street to measure the amount of music traveling into their neighborhood. The street is approximately a quarter mile away from the establishment. Detective Hernandez utilized a sound meter and recorded an average decibel reading between 57 to 58 decibels. Detectives made note of the time as approximately 11:29 p.m. Boston Noise Ordinance states that decibels may not exceed 50 decibels after 11 p.m. Detectives then went over to speak with the person in charge of Park City, Mr. Mike O'Brien. Mr. O'Brien stated that he was aware of the ongoing issue with the music disturbing the neighbors. Mr. O'Brien stated that he had been doing his own sound readings, but hadn't done one since 9:30. He then directed his staff to turn down the speakers and the disc jockey was using. As a result of what detectives observed, Sergeant Detective Gallagher issued license for inspection notice 020605 for DJ music emanating beyond premise after 11 p.m. with an average noise reading between 57 and 58 decibels. Mr. O'Brien signed for and accepted the notice. That's all for the report, and there is a picture attached to the report of the actual decibel reading that we had from where we were measuring it from in front of the affected address. That's all.
Thank you very much. Attorney Miller, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Thank you, Secretary Green. Detective Fernandez, when you have interacted with the staff here and specifically on this occasion, were Mr. O'Brien and the staff of Park City cooperative with you?
Oh yeah, always. They're always very cooperative.
Thank you, sir. No more questions at this point. The licensee here has worked since they opened to regulate and mitigate the noise that radiates from the premise into the surrounding neighborhoods. Since opening, they have gone out, as referenced in the report, into the neighborhood at specific locations to monitor how the sound is emanating to make sure that they're within acceptable levels and that they are mitigating any impacts on the neighborhood. The managers, including Mr. O'Brien, conduct these readings at multiple points around the premise multiple times a night. When the readings happen to spike above, they work with the manager who is out conducting those readings, works with the manager on premise at the time, connected via radio, to adjust the sound settings to make sure that they come down to the acceptable level. They work to prevent that from going, from raising above, but when they find out that they make sure to bring it back down as quickly as possible to the acceptable level below the noise ordinance requirements. When they have received a complaint from the neighbors, when neighbors have contacted them directly or been connected by the board to them, they've done everything they can to work with them to address reasonable concerns, questions, comments, to make this, as workable for all people in the area, themselves and the neighbors. The entire Park City team understands that they are members of the neighborhood here, and they have worked to be good neighbors, including trying to work with them, the people around them, to create an environment that everyone can enjoy. Since receiving this inspection notice, they've taken further steps to mitigate the way in which the noise emanates into the neighborhood. Instead of using the app that was recommended to them, they've purchased a decibel meter similar to the one pictured in the licensed premise inspection notice, and are using that now for a more accurate and more consistent reading. They've also engaged Kavanaugh Tochi, a well-known and respected consulting firm in the acoustic and audio-visual field, to evaluate the way in which that noise is traveling from the premise, and to evaluate and adjust their operational plan to better mitigate the noise that is coming from the premise and prevent any future spikes or issues in the way in which this emanates out from the premise into the community. That's the basic presentation at this point. We're happy to address any questions that the executive director or director of operations may have.
Thank you. We'll see if there are any questions from the division at this time. Director Joyce, Director Fu.
Just a couple of questions. First, thank you for being so cooperative with us and with the licensed premise unit. It's always a lot of these licensed premises, and the noise change in different neighborhoods because of development and weather and times of the year. So we're learning too as we go. That being said, could you share with us your third-party sound engineer that you've hired? We're actually looking into doing something similar in the city to educate us about how sound travels and how it impacts business and residents in the neighborhoods. That would be helpful to us too. And I know Rebecca and I have been talking about that.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. Like Kavanaugh Tochi has been incredibly helpful on a lot of our stuff from like start to finish. Then they're able to come in from an engineering standpoint to troubleshoot. We've used them many times, always successfully. So happy to make an intro.
Great, thanks. And we always appreciate any effort that a licensee makes to be a good business person and a good neighbor. That being said, do you share, like, I know you said you respond in real time when you hear about complaints and stuff. So do neighbors in general, and this particular neighbor, do they have a line to call you or an email that you guys check frequently so that they can get in touch with you in real time if there's a complaint?
Yeah,
They do.
They do. Okay. I know at one point we asked for that. I just wanted to double check. And then let me see. Let's see. Could you tell us where the speakers are located?
Yeah, I could. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 5 zones basically. So we have the ability, and Mike and his team has the ability, and this is what they do, where they can control every zone and almost every speaker. So there's smaller speakers located near Dot Ave, larger speakers located in the back corner of Four Alger Street, really, like on the back side of one of the old buildings that's fenced in. And then it's just kind of tube speakers if everything faces into the space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's very helpful. And then I'm gonna request some sort of plan about where your speakers are that we could have on file. And if you could keep it on site for future inspections, just so we could, when we talk about this next time, we can say it was coming from this area and we could have a conversation and a more informed conversation as far as where the speakers are located.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you keep a log noting, where the complaints come from? I'm sorry, where you take your measurements from?
Yes, they do.
You do, okay. That's helpful too. Rebecca, do you have any questions?
The only question I have is just the night of the violation. Was there like a special event happening or was it just regular night?
We had a disc jockey.
How often do you guys have the DJ? Is it just on weekends or?
Yeah, mainly weekends.
Okay, thank you. I don't
Sergeant,
have any further. Sorry, I have no further questions.
sorry, Rebecca.
Sergeant Gallagher is looking to speak. I just asked you to unmute.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I just had a question. Who controls the volume? Is it the disc jockey or is it Park City employees? Because I know we've probably been told in the past, but I've forgotten, because that would probably be a big thing. I know a lot of the jockeys like to be above the crowd, but if Park City's controlling the volume, I would feel a little more comfortable that there'd be actually some control on the levels emanating to the neighborhood. I didn't know if there was an easy answer for that one.
We control everything.
Okay, good.
Whether it's live entertainment or DJ, we have full control and maintain control every single night we're open.
Perfect. That's good.
Any further questions from Director Joyce or Director Fu?
Nothing for me.
Great. With that, if there are no further questions, the Entertainment Division will take this under advisement and will issue a written decision. This being the only item before the division this afternoon, that will adjourn this hearing. Thank you all and enjoy the rest
Thank
of your day.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.